Unsolved wilderness disappearances in Canada's national parks. Unsolved wilderness disappearances in Canada's national parks. Shocking disappearances in Canadian wilderness. From the channel Horror Hub, focuses on unexplained disappearances within Canada's national parks and wilderness areas. It highlights 10 specific cases, providing details about each individual's last known whereabouts, the search efforts undertaken, and any evidence or theories surrounding their vanishing. The video emphasizes the increasing number of such incidents and their often mysterious circumstances surrounding them, with some cases suggesting accidental death or animal attacks, while others point to foul play or simply no trace at all. The host concludes by urging viewers with any information to contact authorities, maintaining that these cases remain unsolved and warrant respect. Here is a comprehensive overview of the unsolved disappearances in Canadian national parks and wilderness areas, drawing from the provided sources. Canada's national parks and wilderness areas are vast, covering approximately 328,000 square kilometres. And unfortunately, these areas are associated with a growing number of missing persons cases, often under inexplicable circumstances. Here are details on 10 specific unsolved disappearances. Ir Ali Nadiri, August 23, 2020, at the foot of Eagle Mountain, Eagle Ridge, in Indian Arm Provincial Park near Coquitlam, British Columbia, 52-year-old Persian man, dark complexion, black salt and pepper hair, brown eyes, 5 feet 10 inches tall, 176 pounds. He was wearing dark shorts and a dark hiking jacket and carrying hiking poles. Police found his vehicle near Diamond Crescent, and trail camera video placed him on the mountain. 183 trained volunteers spent 2,400 hours searching, covering 48,000 square meters using GPS, drones, helicopters, and K9 units. After 7 days, the search was suspended. Investigators found nothing out of the ordinary in his apartment or vehicle. No evidence of foul play, hiking gear, or belongings have been found. Nadiri regularly hiked the mountain with limited supplies and knew the area well. As Stephanie Stewart, August 26, 2006. From Athabasca Fire Lookout in Hinton, Alberta. 70 years old, healthy, and adventurous, she had worked for Alberta Natural Resources Group for 18 years and spent 13 summers at the Athabasca Lookout. She missed her usual call-in. Phone calls to her lookout phone were answered and repeatedly hung up before the phone was unplugged. Her supervisor found a pot of water boiling on the stove, her truck parked outside, and a significant amount of blood at the scene. Missing items included 2 pillows with blue cases, a burgundy bedsheet, a Navajo pattern duvet, and a gold watch. The search was one of the largest in Alberta. Forensic evidence led the RCMP to rule out animal attack, accidental death, or a medical event. Police concluded she must have been taken by someone, possibly due to an interruption of a perpetrator by the phone calls, or because she had a visitor or someone spent the night. Her body and missing items have not been found. A new search for human remains was launched in August 2018. But the case remains unsolved. Amadi Leclerc, May 29, 2014, from Spider Lake in Nova Scotia. Went for a routine bike ride on a popular trail. The trailhead is in a residential area. His vehicle was found at the end of Spider Lake Road near the trailhead. The RCMP launched one of the largest searches in Canadian history, involving nearly 500 people, volunteers, dogs, helicopters, and 250 military members, covering nearly 60 square miles. Nothing was found related to Marty. In October 2016, human remains were found near the trailhead, but belonged to a different missing person. Marty LeClaire remains missing with no further updates. Christina Kluka, August 6, 2007. From Rainbow Falls Provincial Park in Ontario. 20 years old, with her cousin and 2 male friends from a Christian youth group. They were inexperienced in the wilderness. After camping, Christina and a friend, Eddie MCU, went for a run. Christina split off onto park trails while Eddie stuck to the road. Eddie returned to camp, but Christina did not. The Ontario Provincial Police, OPP, used 4 K9 teams, 3 helicopter groups, 2 fixed-wing aircraft, a float plane, and around 100 officers and volunteers. Searching for 17 days, the OPP believed she was killed by a bear, but no evidence of blood, clothing, or remains was found. Christina's mother believed she was abducted or worse, and the family financed private searches. Despite extensive searches, including high-angle teams and volunteer groups, no luck. Christina remains missing. Sylvia Abbs, July 8, 2014, during a 5-day solo hike in Vancouver Island Strathcona Park, British Columbia. 69 years old. She started in the Paradise Meadows area of Mount Washington and was expected back on July 13th. Her backpack was found in one location, her walking sticks and camera in another, and her name in a logbook on one of the peaks. The official search ended after 1 week. Search and rescue teams focused on targeted searches. Paul Barry, president of Comox Valley Ground Search and Rescue, stated it was the first time they failed to find someone despite finding all their belongings. He believes Sylvia likely suffered a medical emergency, such as heat stroke, and was unable to think clearly. Sylvia remains missing with no further updates. Reported missing on October 13, 2020. From E.C. Manning Provincial Park, British Columbia. 25 years old, engineering alumnus. Believed to have set out for a solo hike on Frosty Mountain Trail. He was last seen leaving his Vancouver apartment on October 10, 2020, wearing black pants, white running shoes, and carrying a large olive green backpack. His black 2016 Honda Civic was found at the Frosty Mountain Trailhead. Bank records showed he bought coffee at Manning Park Resort. A bag was found by crews, later identified by his mother as his, containing a hat and Oakley sunglasses. Pieces of insulation material similar to what Jordan used for crafts were also found in the park. His father reported off-trail footprints south of Frosty Peak. The initial search by rescue teams was suspended on October 17th due to exhausting all avenues, which was controversial and involved the Canadian Prime Minister. His family launched a private search, hiring a drone company and helicopter, and appealed for the official search to resume. Search and rescue teams did resume the search on October 22nd. After nearly a month, no sign of Jordan was found, and he remains missing. Bart Shira, September 14, 2004. From Reed Lakes, Yukon Territory. 49 years old. Famous and experienced outdoorsman, trained scientist, avid hunter, and survival expert. He spent months in the wilderness and was extremely knowledgeable about wildlife. A chartered float plane left him at Reed Lakes with 2 weeks of food, a tent, and an inflatable boat. When the plane returned 2 weeks later, he was gone. Food was still in the crate, and his boat was found half a mile down the lake from his camp. Dissatisfied with RCMP efforts, friends Dib Williams and Wayne Curry searched. They found his tent knocked down, but equipment like his backpack, bear spray, knife, and VHF radio were still there. On their second day, they found his bone near the inflatable boat, about 60 yards into the woods, along with arrows and a handmade buckskin quiver. Further on, they found a camouflage face mask with blood and hair on it. The RCMP, conservation officers, and volunteers conducted a grid search. They found a baseball cap, camouflage pants, a camera, part of a skull, and a few small bones. About 60 meters from the bow, dental records confirmed the remains belonged to Bart. Grisly excrement was found in the area, fueling speculation of a bear attack. However, searchers were skeptical because there was no sign of a death struggle, no disturbed vegetation, and the remains were found on moss, which is unusual for a bear kill. They usually bury kills in a cache. Most who knew Bart believed he was too skilled to be surprised by a bear. A Vancouver pathologist found no tooth punctures or scratch marks on his skull. His food container was undisturbed, and bear experts said a bear would likely have rummaged through his camp. The RCMP leans toward the idea of a bear attack, with no foul play suspected. Stating everything at the scene suggested it. Bart's exact cause of death remains unknown. August 14, 2016. From Baby Monday Peak in the Cheam Range, British Columbia. 50 years old. He was hiking with two friends but went ahead to explore a different peak. Friends and family describe him as physically and mentally strong. An experienced hiker and a long-distance runner who knew the area well. A large search was organized with ground teams, helicopters, drones, and police dogs, and the area was thoroughly searched. North Shore Search and Rescue even brought in a thermal imaging camera. After a week, on August 21st, the search was recommended to be called off by Chilliwack Search and Rescue. Gordon's family vowed to continue the search privately. Gordon remains missing. September 4, 2010. From the Spetch Creek Forest Service Road, leading to Valentine Lake in British Columbia. 34-year-old Jonathan and 24-year-old Rachel. Rachel was studying to be a physician and an experienced hiker. Jonathan worked for the government in Quebec and was an avid climber. They were planning to hike to Valentine Lake, a 5-hour hike. Bank records show they bought coffee and hot chocolate in Squamish on September 4th. Jonathan's four-door Toyota Echo was found on the service road. With empty coffee cups and a cell phone, no calls after September 3rd. A full search and rescue operation was launched. Fire pit near Peg Creek proved to be dead ends. The couple remains missing.